Welcome to the show, Jono.
Sally, awesome to be here. I'm privileged that you asked me, and I'm super excited to share whatever I can with your listeners.
Awesome. Thanks so much for taking the time out today. I wanted to bring you on because I know that you have a background in group training and you had a successful group training business. And this is something we haven't really talked about on my podcast yet. So I thought maybe my listeners would be interested in learning how to start and run this type of business or even have it as something they do on the side to their online coaching.
Yes, 100%.
Awesome. All right, I've got a few questions for you today. I wanted to just start off, if you could just break down exactly what a group training business looks like in terms of how many people you train at once, how often and where you actually train them.
Yes, love it. All right, cool. So I've actually got the perfect model for this, Sally. So this is what I use myself, and this is what I've actually taught thousands of other boot camp instructors, personal trainers across Australia and New Zealand. And you can have slight tweaks to this, but it's going to look something like this. It's going to be something like, hey, here's Sally's 12-week challenge. It's $50 a week for 12 weeks. With that $50, you get access to 6 group training sessions. We run one every single day. You also get my 12-week home program. You also get my basic nutrition guidelines. You also get my clean eating recipe ebook. You also get my clean eating smoothie and shake ebook. You also get my at-home booty workout or ab workout or whatever it may be. And we do something cool every couple of weeks as well. You know, in week 2, we do the no sugar challenge. In week 4, we do the walking challenge. Week 6 is the bring a friend week. Week 8 is our excursion. Week 10 is the drink water challenge. And week 12 is a party. We kick back, celebrate. And then we do the same thing again for another 12 weeks. All
Wow.
right. So that's essentially the model there. I'll just break down the key parts to it. The key part is about $50 a week, give or take, because with that, there's enough in it for you. All right. If there's $50 a week over the 12 weeks, that's $500 per client minimum. And if you're pretty good at what you do, most clients are going to stay for at least another one challenge, if not another 2 or 3, if not like years, right? But it helps to get that $500 up front, both for your bank account, also for your marketing, you can reinvest it, but also for the client as well. Because if you you sign up for it, cancel anytime. Like, my opinion, if you give someone the opportunity to cancel anytime, like, you're giving them permission to just give up whenever the hell they want, at least if you commit them for, and I think 12 weeks is fair. I'm not locking you in for life. I'm not locking you in for a year, it's 12 weeks there. So that's one key component to it. Do you want me to expand on it a bit more? Because I can keep going on this.
Please.
Cool. Awesome. So that price point works really well. And the duration too, because you've got now a $500 asset. You've now got some, you can go in and market. I'll put $500 on Facebook ad. All I need is one client and I've made it back, and I'm going to get heaps back more. You know what? I can invest some money in equipment because one client's $500. I want to get as many as I can down there. The key with this model as well is making it different to like a gym class. All right. So let's say, for example, and let me think of the best way to explain this. So it can be almost exactly the same. And I'll use myself as an example. When I was running boot camp, I used to run a boot camp. It was $50 a week for 12 weeks. I'd also teach at the local Crunch Fitness gym where I think it was $10 a week membership, So I was the same instructor. You could either pay $10 a week and see me at Crunch, or you could pay $50 a week and go to my boot camp. Why would you go to my boot camp? Because it's more than just the exercise. That's the main component going on there. And 2 things. Firstly, you want to make the experience better in terms of the how much you care about your clients in a nutshell, but also you want to make it seem different from the sell. Like that example that I gave earlier, I made it so much more than just the workout, right? It's $50 a week for me to coach you. The sessions are just one part of the many other things that you get in as part of me coaching you, which is key for a few different reasons. Because now a client is no longer adding up the dollars per, hold on, how much am I paying per session? How much is it per, it's none of that. It's like, it's this amount to be part of my community, to have me to coach you. And here are all the things you get. Here's just one component of it there. That's the simplified version of how I can explain that part of it. In terms of the numbers, like The more, the better, to be honest. But in terms of what one trainer can maintain, usually about 20 people in a session. I've found for myself, if you're a good trainer, you can have 20 people in there and you can give them an amazing experience, just as good as if it was 5 or 6, because there's obviously advantages having less people. There's also advantages having a few more, but any more than 20, it's just too hard to keep up, right? But I'm not saying you cap your numbers at 20. All right. What I'm saying is per one trainer, it's 20. And let's do some quick math on that. Let's just say you get, let's even run with 40 clients. Okay. Because even though you're running a session every day, most people aren't going to attend a boot camp every single day. They're probably going to do 3 times a week, you know? So if you've got 40 clients, and maybe let's run with 30 just to be conservative, right? If you've got 30 clients, you're not going to get 20 at every session. Right? Because every session, people aren't going to come. They don't come on Mondays, whatever, right? But let's say you're running that model there with 30 people. That's $1,500 a week, working 1 hour a day.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
I think that's pretty good, in my opinion. No, hold on. But then I can't make more than that, right? Because I'm going to have more than 20 people. Hey, it's fine. It just means you need to bring another trainer on board. Let's use the number 40 now. Let's say you got 40 clients. They're all paying you $50 a week. You're making $2,000 a week now, but you don't want, 40 people coming to one session. That's okay. You bring another trainer on. You pay that trainer $50 per session there. You bring him for one session a day. So, okay, great. There's, what's the math on that? $200, $250. All right. You're making $2,000 now. And okay, you're outlaying $250 for a trainer. You're still profiting $1,750. All right. So that's it there. And I'm big on like the one session a day for a few different reasons. If you've got 40, 50 clients, there's going to be a little bit of support going on there, right? You're going to have to text them outside of the session and, make sure everything's okay. And there's going to be some payment bounce and some people are going to need some extra support. And there's going to be little things that you're going to do. So if you're sort of running sessions all day, you're not going to really have the time to do that. Also the sales and marketing. If you want to stay at 40, okay, maybe you can, whatever. But if you then want to grow to 50 and 60 and 70 and 80 and 100 and then open up another location, you're going to need that time during the day to do your sales and marketing. And one of the biggest mistakes I see trainers make is do too much too soon. I'll give you a couple examples of my clients at the moment. So I've got this one client who's running 4 boot camp sessions a day, right? 6 a.m., 9:30, 12, and 6:30 p.m. or something, right? And your average person might be like, oh, okay, so they're working 4 hours a day, easy job. But we all know, that's at least 8 hours by the time you get there early, you set up, you hang out after and talk to your clients, you write the program, do some text messages. It's at least 8 hours and it's spread out all day. And she had, I think about 30 clients. She couldn't get more. I'm just going to simplify it. Let's say she had 20 clients and she just couldn't get any more than it. Right. She's like, no matter what I do, I can't break the 20 and I don't have any time to do any marketing. I'm just so busy as it is. Right. Then we looked at it and we're like, well, hold on. 90% of your clients are coming at the 6 a.m. and the 9:30 a.m. You can pretty much cancel your 1 p.m. and 6:30 p.m. You're only going to lose a few clients and you get like half your day back. And then you can use that time to do your sales and your marketing to fill out your other 2 sessions there. So she did that. She only lost 1 client. Right, from canceling those 2 ones, because if you can come at 12, you can come at 9:30. If you can come at 6:30, you can come at 6 a.m. Maybe you don't want to, and maybe you won't. And that's totally cool. But if they really want to, they will. And on the flip side, this was a group call, right? And what motivated this lady as well is I had another client on there who had started off with 20 clients again. All right, was just running 1 session a week. So I was making $1,000 working 5 hours a week. But she actually couldn't make 2 of those sessions. So she hired another trainer to run those 2 sessions, $50 per session. So she was making $1,000 working 3 hours a week. Right. And then she grew that to 30 clients pretty quick because she had nothing else to do. What else she's going to do during the day? Not working, So grew that to 30 pretty quickly. And then it ended up, those 2 had about the same amount of revenue. And one's like, man, you're working 3 hours a week and making 1.5K. I'm working all day, all night and making the same, so that's why it's important with the boot camp model. Start with the 1 session, pack that out, then by all means open up another one or go to a different location or whatever it may be. But start with that one and pack it out. Does that give us?
Wow. Yeah, definitely. I had no idea that it was such a lucrative business.
Yeah, it's like I think it's the best. It's like
Mm,
because it's. Let me think of how to put it. Because it's so leveraged, right?
yeah.
It used to, and it was easier when I started off because PT used to be the thing. A lot of people used to use boot camp just to get lead gen for PT, and I'm like,
Hmm.
well, hold on, like even if you charge pretty high for PT, you may be looking at $100 per hour. Actually, we'll do a comparison here. Let me think if I can do this. Yeah, all right, cool. This is what really got me into boot camp. I love it and I love people and I love talking, as you can
Hmm.
probably tell. Um, but in terms of just the money side of things, back when I was looking at some different models, right? And at the time, most PTs were charging about $50 a session for a 45-minute session, right?
Hmm.
That's what a lot of my friends were charging at the time. And I was charging $50 a week for the boot camp, right? And it's not too bad if you've got about 20 clients, because the math is the same. If you've got 20 clients in boot camp and you're charging $50 a week, you're making $1,000. If you got if you're charging $50 a 45 minutes for PT, you're still making $1,000, but you're working basically 20 hours, whereas I'm working
Right.
5 or 6 hours, right? But that's
Mm,
not too bad. It's not too much of a discrepancy. Where it gets bigger is if you go to that 40 client mark, right? If I get 40 clients at boot camp, now I'm making $2,000. I'm still only working 5 or 6 hours a day. If that
right.
PT runs 40 sessions of PT, that's a full-time job, And like, I don't think that's possible to do 40 of that, right?
Yeah.
Maybe you can do it. You're young, you're energetic, you're just starting off for a couple months or maybe a year or two, but then it gets even worse. What if I can get to 100 boot camp clients, which is what I usually do, right?
Hmm.
I'm then making $5,000 a week. I'm still just working those 5 or 6 hours. That PT, imagine doing 100 hours of PT. I don't even think there's 100 hours in a week. My math sucks, but it's just in terms of that, it's so scalable. Even if one client isn't a lot of money up front, it's
Yeah.
just so scalable. You've got so much time just to do whatever you want, really.
Yeah, definitely. Wow. Okay, definitely unpacked a lot there. A couple of things came to mind as you were talking. One of them is it sounds like the inclusions that you were talking about is similar to what a lot of online trainers do with their
Mm,
online challenges. Would you agree?
100%. And it
Yeah.
was, I'll piggyback off that a little bit as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I would also do online training as well
Hmm.
because I didn't have to do anything extra. It was just like, yep, great. Here's all my ebooks and my programs and join the Facebook group and do the challenges. It was just like exactly the same thing. It's just they didn't get the sessions.
Right. Yeah. Okay. I can't remember what the other thing was now. It's gone. But that's okay. We've got more questions. Okay. So the next one I had was, is it something you could do full time and make profitable, which you've already answered? Definitely.
Mm.
Do you see many people doing?
Wait. No, I'll go back a step.
Okay.
Maybe profitable, yes. Full time, I don't even know if you can call it. Maybe it could be full time, but you don't even need to do it full time.
Right.
If
Yeah.
you can give yourself maybe 20 hours a week, where it's like, okay, I'll run the boot camp once a day. Maybe spend a couple hours on the sales and the marketing, couple hours on the retention side of things. You can probably make, let's say, easy $100,000 a year with just that there.
Right.
Easy.
Okay. I remember what my question was now. So you said that you're selling it as like a 12-week
Yeah.
boot camp, right? What happens at the end of the 12 weeks? Is this something that people can continue on with, or they sign up for another 12 weeks, or?
100%. Yep. Cool.
Yeah.
So, end of that. So your goal during that 12 weeks. So when you first speak to the person,
Mhm.
your goal is just to get them that first 12 weeks. It's just like, let me make it sound like the most amazing thing ever to get this person to sign up. Then during that 12 weeks, your job is to make it the most amazing experience ever. So that person never, ever, 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 ever thinks of leaving, right?
Right.
At the end of that 12 weeks, and this is how you can tell how good you are as an instructor, is you run that 12-week challenge. How much of your clients come back for the next one? If you can get every single one of your clients to come back, you did an amazing job,
Mhm.
right? If half came back, not so great. If maybe 75% came back, okay, not too bad. There's always going to be those people that, for whatever reason, can't. But what's important is you have a look at the reasons why people didn't continue and see if there's anything you could do to make it better and go from there. But yeah, in a nutshell, like it's just like it's just a sales tool. I'm not really just selling a 12-week program. I want this person to exercise for the rest of their life, ideally with me. But if not, at least the rest of their life. And it is a thing that just can continue. The 12 weeks is almost just a sales tool.
Right.
So because like a hard sell would be, all right, so Jono, how long have I got to, train for? Oh, Sally, only the rest of your life. No one's buying that. But if I can say, hey, look, start with a 12-week challenge. Most people do a 12-week challenge and they love it and they continue after that. But anyway, start with the 12 weeks. If you like it, great, keep going. If not, you had an awesome time in the 12 weeks and do what you want to do.
Yeah.
And it just also helps. So it helps in a couple of different ways with the marketing side of things, right? Because if you're running a 12-week challenge, and there's a few ways around it, but I'll just give the simplified version. Say you're running a 12-week challenge. It's really easy to do a launch. Right, a couple of weeks out, hey, the next 12-week challenge starts in a couple of weeks. It's giving you a reason to market and sort of hard sell yourself, and also it's giving you a real sense of urgency and scarcity for the clients, because it's like, oh, can I think about it? Well, starts on Monday, so you've got a couple of hours to think about it, so yeah, but yeah, 100%. And your goal is just to keep building from there. It's like, let's say you get 20 clients for your first boot camp. Great. Let's get all those 20 back, plus an extra 10 new ones. Now you got 30,
Right.
The next boot camp, let's get all of those 30 back, plus an extra 10 new ones. Now you got 40, and keep building from there.
Okay, awesome. So what are some of the hiccups that trainers might face along the way when running this type of business, and how will they overcome them?
Just one hiccup or?
Well, there's a few that come to mind.
Yeah,
I guess the first thing that I thought of is like when winter comes around, people drop off. Right? It just happens in gyms everywhere. Does that happen with this type of training as well, especially if it's an outdoor thing?
Yeah, okay, good point. So let me think how to answer this one. Okay, so the first thing I want to answer is you want to make sure you have an indoor venue.
Okay.
Right? And I learned that one the hard way as well, because winter came and like I didn't even want to get up and run the boot camp, So the first thing is have an indoor venue, ideally like a school hall or a church hall or something like that. You can get it pretty affordable depending on where you go, but give or take $20-$30 for the session. And let's say you're running 5 sessions, great, maybe $100-$150, and you can rent out that school hall there. And then that takes out any weather excuse, any winter sort of excuse. You might get it a little bit because, it's dark, people don't wake up, but I'm going to put that more to the trainer. I feel like if you're a trainer and you've done an amazing job and you've created an amazing community, and I'll go back to retention here. So I found retention at boot camp comes down to 3 things, right? How much your client likes you as a trainer, how much the client likes the group, how much they bond together, and then how much fun they have at the session. If you can nail a 10 out of 10 in all of those, winter's not going to be a drama, right? Because that person loves going down to see you. They love going down to see their friends. They have so much fun. Like, why would they not do it? Right? It's just if you haven't hit it 10 out of 10, it's just a reason for that person not to come. No different to, I look at it like a party, Sally. Well, I'm not a party guy, but what's something you enjoy doing for fun, Sally?
Going to the gym.
Okay, cool. A non-fitness one. So we'll compare it to someone who's a
going to the beach.
A non-fitness person. Go to the beach. Yeah, awesome. Let me see if we can run with that. Maybe an indoor one. If you
for coffee with friends.
Okay, yeah, perfect, cool. So let's use that as an example, right? Let's say you got your best friend, you love hanging out with him or her. You have an awesome time wherever you go there. And there's a few friends. There's like 3 of you and you all have an awesome time and it's the highlight of your week and you can't wait every Friday, 5 p.m. or whatever to go and have that coffee with them. And then it's raining outside. Like, who cares about the rain? I just want to see my friends, right? Yeah. That's essentially what we're doing there with the boot camp model.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. Are there any other hiccups that that they might face along the way?
There's quite a few. Let me think of which way we want to go. So we could either go hiccups in terms of sales hiccups, marketing hiccups, like delivery.
Well, we've got a marketing question coming up next.
Okay, cool. Maybe we'll go the delivery ones then.
Okay.
So let me think how to explain this. All right, cool. So, all right, cool. So basically your whole job throughout that 12 weeks is essentially to get your group to bond as close as possible, right? Mm-hmm. Like even if I used that example before, how much they like you, how much they like each other, how much fun they have. Like you can be the most charming person in the world. If they hate each other, it's not going to work, right? So your essential job is getting those people to bond, and that's your job as the trainer. right? So I've spoken to trainers before where they'll be like, yeah, my group, they're just not interactive this time around. You know, I used to have some people that were really loud or really friendly and, you know, really good community, but a few of them left. And now people just don't sort of talk and they don't really get on with each other, you know? Now it's a trainer's responsibility to get that to be done.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that's the biggest mistake there. You as the trainer, it's your job to get your group to be as close as possible without being a clique, because that's another common issue that happens. You know, you get some people that really like you. It's cool at the start. You know, you got a really good group of whatever, 5-10 people. But then when anyone new comes in, it's really hard for them because you've got such a clique in there. So you need to get your group to bond without having a little clique in there. And it's tough because, well, not tough. It's like if you're not aware of it, it can be tough because you do all this job getting these people to bond and you think, great, job's done. I'm good at this. But then you realize you got to click, right? So it's like a constant sort of thing. You got to make sure, I'm getting my group to bond, but it's not a click. When anyone new comes in, they're just as much as part of the group as everyone else. And it's something you got to constantly keep an eye on as a boot camp instructor.
Okay. So would you say that like pairing people up and mixing that up every week or every session is like a good way to achieve that?
100%. So there's a few things going on there. It starts from like point one, right? It's like everything is like a science here, right? It starts from even when you get, so you should get to your boot camp like 15 minutes before everyone else, right? And then as people come, naturally you're just going to sort of sit next to the same person, right? Or you're going to, you know, if the facility is not set up, you might even just stand in the corner on your own, on your phone, right? So even from when setting up, what I recommend doing is setting up the seats so it's in such a way that people just have to sit next to the person there. What I mean by that is it's hard to explain on a podcast, but let's just imagine you've got like a bench, right? A long bench where you can fit, 5-10 people on there, right? You'd then want to also put another bench parallel to that. So like if I'm sitting down on this bench on my own, it's just natural for the first person to come and sit in front of me and just, talk a conversation like we are here, Then it's natural for then the second person to come. They see two people talking like this, and especially if it's me as the trainer. Hey, Sally, what's up? Yeah, take a seat here. Sally sits down there, and now it's the three of us having a conversation. Next person comes down, oh, hey, Travis, what's up? Yeah, just take a seat here. Now there's the four of us, and it's almost rude not to conversate now, right? It's like, man, this person's talking to me, this person's talking to me. So setting up from there just gets the ball rolling, right? Then the first thing you do, obviously a general warm-up, but then you want to play some sort of a fitness game that involves people interacting with other people, right? Now, it's a fine line with boot camp because people like training with their friends, right? So what I usually recommend there is, okay, right, here's the game we're going to play. It's scissors, paper, rock, whatever. Everyone grab a partner. Right, give your partner a high five, introduce yourself. Okay, here's the game. Play it for a couple minutes. All right, give your partner a high five. This line here, you move one person down. Everyone's got a new partner here. Give your partner a high five, introduce yourself. Great, next person down, next person down, next person down. So you play the game, but don't give people an opportunity just to click there, and don't give people an opportunity, because even if you go with your friend to start with, man, within a minute, you're with someone else,
Yeah.
And same with every drill as well. If you do a partner drill, great. Let everyone, pair up with their partner to start with. But after 5 minutes, right, high five down the line, meet someone else. So it just changes that whole dynamic there. Or you can also put people in groups as well. All right, station number 1, 1, 2, 3. Yep, you're over there. Station 2, 1, 2, 3. You're over there. Right, that one's okay, but then it's a little bit too forcey. I like that fine balance. Okay, let people have a bit of fun with their friends because that's what they are. They're their friends. But let me make sure it doesn't get too clicky by always varying up there. Those two are your biggest weapons at the start, and then the game at the start. Because if you do those things, it just sets it for the rest of the session. It's like, oh shit, I just go here and this person's not that bad. I can talk to this person and they won't brush me off. I can, those two things are your biggest weapons, but it needs to be done every single session. Right. That's a mistake I made before. I was like, oh yeah, great. This script's fine. Now I don't need to do anything. And then the retention went down on clicks form. So it's like, do that, but every single session. And then if done right, everyone should just meet everyone, because you're never clicking with it. Every single session, you're meeting new people.
Right. Wow, that's so valuable. I think that's probably something that not many people that are getting started at least would even think about until it's too late.
I was lucky. I learned it the hard way, right? I was running a session. And I was there early or whatever, and then I was setting up. I was like, I'll set up. People will be fine. And there were about 20 people there, just sitting on a long row, not one person talking to each other. And I
Oh,
was like, man, what's wrong with these people? But I was like, hold on, it's not them. That's society. It's me. I haven't done a good enough job as a trainer, making sure I'm giving people the opportunity to interact. And
yeah.
it's huge. It's honestly, it's huge.
Wow, super helpful. All right. So, when it comes to marketing this group training business, what have you found to be the most successful method for attracting new clients into the business? Is it flyers? Is it social media? Is it ads? What's worked for you in the past?
Yes. Okay. Easy. So definitely not flyers. Definitely not yellow pages. Definitely not letterbox drops. Definitely not business cards. It's funny because there's some of the things we think of. Oh, yeah, I'll get some business cards. I'll do some
Automatically,
letterbox
yeah.
drops. Yeah, they don't work. I shouldn't say they don't work. Like in 99.9% of cases, you're going to lose a lot of money doing it. There may
Okay.
be the odd person that does it. That's fine. So 100% social media. The easiest with bootcamp is actually Facebook ads.
Okay.
You can do it organically. I'll give some tips organically as well, but I'll just give why Facebook ads work so effective, especially with this model. All right. Now, off the bat, I do Facebook ads for bootcamp instructors. If someone's interested, let me know.
Yeah.
I'll set up a perfect ad. But even if you don't do it with me, these are the results you're looking for. Right. You want to put, and this is how I look at it. You're charging about $500, so you want to put about $500 on a Facebook ad because you get one client, you're making money back. All right. You want to do a lead generator ad. If you do a good ad, you should get leads for about $10 maximum.
Okay.
Right. Now, if we do the math on that, that's 50 leads. Right. Now, if you're advertising to a cold audience, most people won't buy because they've never freaking heard of you. Right. They'll enter their details. They're interested, especially because it's a local business. Right. Especially if you tailor your ad and it's like, hey, 12-week challenge, Cogra location, start 7th of June, the photos in the local area, the headline is, Cogra locals. Like if you're a local, it's, online can be a bit dodgy, not can be a bit like, it's just, it can bring that impression across. Oh man, this is from America. Oh man, it's online. What if they scam me? But it's like, oh, this guy runs a boot camp in the park next door to me. If he scams me, I'll just go to that park and punch him in the face, or whatever. I'll call it. It's just so much. There's so much trust there, being local to local, that there's just so much more trust there, right? So the close rate I found is about 10%, more if you're better at sales, but even if you suck at sales, about 10%. Right?
Okay.
So 50 leads, 5 of them will sign up if you just simply give them a call and have a conversation with them. Now, if we do the math on that, you've spent $500 on your Facebook ad. You've made 5 sales at $500, which means you've made 2,500. You've made $2,000 on the front end, right? Doing it's not even any work. Yeah, you've got to do the calls, but you've got to do that anyway. It's not like you need to consistently post on social media. There's an advantage of that as well, and I'll get to that in a sec. But even if in terms of the best, it's like, man, if you just want an extra 5-10 clients for your bootcamp, just simply run an ad for $500 once every 12 weeks. And you're going to get 5-10 new people in there every single time without doing anything else. And then it gets better because let's use that same scenario. Those 45 people that didn't sign up, it doesn't mean they never want to train with you. They just weren't ready for that particular challenge. Guess what? In 12 weeks time, they're your hottest freaking leads, because they inquired 12 weeks ago. Now they've been following you. They've been getting your emails. They've probably seen some testimonials. They're going to be, even if you don't run the Facebook ad the second time, you might still get another 5-10 clients from those 45 people that inquired 12 weeks ago, right? So it compounds from that there, but it's like it's hands down the best. Because either way, and a lot of people are hesitant to do Facebook ads because you got to spend money, right? But it's like if you do it organically, you got to spend your time. Either way, you got to pay. You're either paying with your money or you're paying with your time. Now, if there's a system and just I want to preface as well, when I'm talking about this system, I'm talking about the specific Facebook ads that I run. I know the copy, I know the headline, I know the photo. I'm not saying someone couldn't do it on their own. They could, but I'm not saying anyone can just, set up a Facebook ad and they're magically going to get leads for $10, right? I'm looking at it from my side of things. If I was to run a boot camp, I know the perfect ad to do that. That's easily the best way to do it there. And then if we look at the organic side of things, organic Facebook works well as well. Not as good though. What I teach and what I recommend is Facebook ads should be your main thing, right? Even if it's just $500 every 12 weeks, right? It's just, if you know you're going to make more money back. The way I look at it is the vending machine example. Has anyone explained the vending machine example on this podcast,
Nope.
Sally?
Nope.
Okay, cool. So this is how I look at Facebook ads, all right? And especially paid ads versus organic. Let's say, let's use me and Sally as an example. Let's say Sally's got $1. She puts it in a vending machine and that gives her $2 back, right? Sally's probably just going to put that $1 in again, right? And get another $2 back and just keep putting it in, right? Because every $1 she puts in, she gets $2 back. Why would you not do it, right? Whereas let's say me, I'm like, Sally, I get that that's good, but I'm trying to save money, so I'm not going to put my $1 in there, right? Or I want to do it for free, so I'm not going to put my $1 in it. I'd be an idiot, right? It's like, it's like if it puts it out, that's the way I look at Facebook ads, right? So that should be your main form of your marketing there, especially to start with, because you just get such a flood of leads without having to really do anything, right?
Yeah.
And then you get that flood of leads. Now you've actually got more people following you. Now your organic, call it organic marketing, will work better. Because if you're posting now, okay, that's great. You'll hit your friends and your family and you'll get some of them straight away. They'll sign up, right? But then after they've all signed up, you're eventually going to run out of people, right?
Yeah.
But if you're also running that Facebook ad, you've constantly got new people either adding you as friends or going into your email list or joining your community Facebook group if you got one. So there's always new people going on there, right? That's going to make your selling from organic easier. And these are targeted people as well. These aren't just randoms. They're people that you've specifically targeted, have seen your ad, have read your ad, have clicked learn more, have entered in their name, number, and email, and hit send me more info. There's no how to lead, That's the main part. You then want to, there's two ways you can then, you obviously leverage off that because your list is building. You also want to do the perfect bring a friend week. So done properly, one of those 12-week, one of those weeks in the 12 weeks, the halfway point is your bring a friend week, right? So you'll bring a friend week for your current clients, but it's also like an open week. So those 45 people that didn't sign up, hey, I know you didn't sign up 6 weeks ago, but look, I got a free week. Do you want to come down for a free week? Well, who's going to say no to that? Can also run a Facebook ad for that if you want as well, and then get a whole nother people in there. So then that week 6, you'll bring a friend week. You can leverage off all these other things you've done. And then ideally then you sign those people up into a mini 6-week challenge. You're like, hey, the next one's actually in 12 weeks time, but I'm creating a specific 6 weeks one just for you guys here that came to the Bring a Friend week. If you want to register today, you can sign up for the remaining 6 weeks, right? So you can leverage it off that as well. Now, organically, if you want to do it organically, I'll make a distinction between organic marketing and organic sales. So in this definition here, we'll call marketing getting in front of new people, and we'll call sales bringing people that already know you further along the deal, right? So really when people talk about organic marketing, it's posting on your personal Facebook profile, right? But for that definition, it's not really marketing if we're talking about getting in front of new people, right? And this is just a specific definition I'm using here. I'm not saying that's the definition of marketing because you're the counter argument to that is, well, but you're marketing your product, which is true. But just for this, let's say marketing is getting in front of new people. You're already posting heaps on your Facebook profile. It's gone well, but you want to get more people on there. In Facebook group, you've got Facebook groups, which has got a ready-made audience there. Most of them, if they're local sort of groups, they allow you to promote. That's what they're for, or at least certain days and that sort of thing. Find the good ones. A lot of the buy, swap, and sell ones are just people trying to sell you stuff. No one interacts, But the mums group, I find it quite well. Go and join your local mums group. And what actually you can go and promote yourself in there or give tips and build your list. And that's okay. It's only going to help you. What I found actually works better than that is just giving value in those groups. All right. So let's say you go in that local mums group, and I'll tell you the questions right now. There's going to be questions that are like, hey, what preschoolers should I send my toddler to? Hey, my kid's got an injury. Who's got the best physio where's the best physio in the area? Anyway, heaps of sort of tutoring, all sort of questions here. Now, what you want to do is just go in that group and give value. Hey, here's the best physio in the area with kids, tag your physio connection, which you should have. If you're in the local area, you should know all the other business people as well. Someone wants to sell their house, hey, who knows a good real estate agent? Yep, go and see @tag this person here, right? there's a few things going on. Firstly, you're giving more value because you're giving people the answer to the thing they actually are asking for. You're not just putting general stuff out there. Secondly, you're also giving value to the business professional as well. If I tag a physio, I tag a real estate agent, hey, guess what? When that physio seen a client, or when that physio sees a post and someone's like, hey, who knows a good personal trainer in the area, that physio is going to feel obliged to tag me because I tag them, that real estate agent's going to be obliged to tag me because I tag them, so there's that there. Or what's even better as well is testimonials, right? So let's say, for example, because it's all well and good for me to post, hey guys, here's a testimonial of my client. She lost 10 kilos, awesome, blah, 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 blah. That's okay. But I'm just trying to sell something. People know that. It's still going to work. Some people are going to buy. But what's more powerful is if my client is in that local Facebook group, that local mums group, hey ladies, just want to let you know, I've been training with Jono, this trainer in Brighton, Los Angeles, Jono, been with him for 12 weeks now. I lost 10 kilos, here's my before and after. If anyone's looking for a trainer, reach out to Jono. Here he is, tag him. All right. That's a bazillion times more powerful, Yeah. And then even if your clients are in that group as well, if someone asks the question, hey, I'm looking to get fit, I'm looking for a personal trainer, I'm looking for a gym, you can obviously comment yourself. Yep. Hey, that's what I do. I'd love to help you out. And there's always going to be a few of them. But what's more powerful is if there's 4 or 5 of your clients that have said, see Jono, see Jono, see Jono. You know what it's like. You see the Facebook post and there's 10 comments and 7 of them are tagging the one person. You're going to think that one person is better. Yeah. But in saying that stuff is that stuff's harder to do. It's good, but it's harder to do and it takes more time. That's why I consider that a supplement. All right. Yeah. Run that Facebook ad, get a whole heap of leads, whole heap of clients, build the database. And then when you do this stuff as a bonus on top to build your list, because you're not running the ad the whole time anyway, you're just running it every 12 weeks. Right. So when you're not running that ad, that's when you can do some of the organic stuff.
Yeah, I love that. And I think one of the issues that trainers have is that when they announce something like a challenge or a group training thing like this, they just post some organic posts and maybe they hand out some flyers and then nothing really happens and they think it's just not going to be a great business model and they move on to something else. Or they try some ads and they just put $50 on something and nothing happens because it's not enough money for Facebook to optimize it, right? And actually try and find the right people. And to sort of just give up there. But everything you said is really interesting. I think this is going to be really eye-opening for a lot of people. Instead of just running ads and just the ad is the only asset, right? It's like, what can you do with those leads that you've got for the time after they come through? With the email marketing, most people don't use email marketing, if you're honest. Like personal trainers, they don't really understand how it could help them. And then, retargeting with ads and, there's a whole can of worms that you can open that if you really explore all of those things, it can help you long term, right?
Bang on. And it's like, I'll pick it back off that. Oh, no, sorry, you go. Continue. I don't want to talk too much.
No,
I was going to say an example is so my Facebook group that I think you're in, Sally, now my fitness education online one, right? I think there's 15,000 trainers in that group. Biggest Facebook group in Australia and New Zealand for fitness professionals, one of the biggest in the world as well. Now, we make sales every single day from that Facebook group, mainly from the email list actually, but it's like if you're in the Facebook group and how can I put it? The email is usually more transactive, right? Because it's like you could Facebook, you make some sales, but you also just give value, you joke around, you have fun, whatever. But if someone's in your Facebook group and they also get your email, they're actually going to open your email because you're not just some person trying to sell them something. Oh, there's that guy on Facebook. He gives me tips. You know what? I might actually open this email here. But back to the point, the reason we're able to get it so high was just this process, rinse and repeat. Okay, let me put $500 on ads. Let me sell one course for $500. Okay, we made our money back. Here's 50 new people to add this group. Let's do the same thing next week, same thing next week, same thing next week. My math sucks, but no, we won't even get into here. But if you just repeat that, let's even think of it now. If you're getting, it's a bit different for a trainer because they wouldn't run that ad every single week, right? They only run it every 12 weeks. But even just say, you put, let's say $1,000 on the ad. You're like, you know what? I put $500 on an ad and I made $2,000 back. You know what? If I put 1,000, maybe I'll make 4,000, which can work providing everything's set up correctly. Let's say you do that. You're like, all right, I put $1,000 on. Now I'm getting 100 leads. All right. And you might do that every 6 weeks because you promote your challenge, but then you also promote your open week there. All right. That's 800 leads after 1 year, Do that and you might be doing some other stuff as well. There's 1,000 people in your database, do it again the next year. Now you got 2,000. Do it again the next year. Now you got 3,000. Now you got 4,000. And if you're in there a long time, it just builds so big. And it's like the bigger it's a simple business principle. The more people you know, the busier your business will be. Even when I first started running boot camp, right? I always grew up in the local area. I went to school here. I, worked at the local Sizzler here. I worked at the local, I played for the local football team. I just knew enough people in the area that I could get something started.
Yeah.
And even though I knew nothing about marketing, I just knew enough people to do it. It's the same sort of thing, just on a bigger level. If you've got, 50 people on your database of your ex-clients, that's not bad. But if you've been marketing for a few years and you got 5,000 people, someone's going to buy just off every email you send, even if your emails are bad.
Definitely. Okay, that's really, really helpful. And I think I just want to add one other thing about the ads, because I know that ads are really scary for a lot of people. They don't want to waste money. And I totally understand it. It does take time to there's so many different aspects of ads that you have to try and get right. The copy, different parts of the copy in different places, the imagery, or do you use a video, and the targeting. So definitely, if you are looking for someone to help with the bootcamp group training stuff, I recommend Jono. Definitely connect with him, or find someone else that can help you, because oftentimes it's easier just to pay someone who knows what they're doing, even though it's an extra fee on top of the ad spend, than just wasting time and money on ads that aren't going to perform anyway.
I'll piggyback off that. I wouldn't do it yourself, right? Even though I said Facebook ads is the best way to do it, I'm talking from someone that knows exactly how to do it.
Yeah.
I'm 100% sure, and I'll tell you how I know this. So I've only started doing these. I've always taught people how to use social media and how to run a boot camp, but only just recently I've said, hey, I'll actually do it for you. Just because I found even then, like, I'd give people the exact system. I'm like, here's a course. Here's exactly what you got to do. They just wouldn't do it. Whether it's too tricky to get in, or whether it's a little bit harder, or then it's more work because you got to watch the videos and you got to implement it. So just recently, last couple of months, I've just started doing it for people. I think over 200 trainers I've done it for. All right. Of those 200, 197 have got an ROI, right? And the other 3 I shouldn't have taken on because they weren't bootcamp clients, right? Okay. If you they were like, online and one-on-one, and they even went okay. They got some leads and, made a few sales, but I think they broke even, right? But most people get and you can go on my Facebook page and check it out or whatever. But I wouldn't go and do it on your own, because of those 200 people, most of them had tried to do it before themselves and had lost money, right? Got me to do it for them. And then this exact system here, leads for $5 to $10, 10% of sales, yada, yada, yada. So and I don't want to sell myself, because that's not what I'm on this podcast for, right? But just if you're listening to this, that would be my recommendation. If you want a guarantee, just reach out to me, and I guarantee you'll get those results. You won't lose money.
Yeah, definitely. It's and the strange thing is that most people don't actually want to learn how to do ads, but they just try to do it anyway and wing it, but it never works out. So trust me, I've been working in marketing for years now, and I've done ads, and it's, even I don't feel confident after 5 years of trying to do this, to do ads. That's why I stick with the organic stuff, but definitely go to a professional, because it saves you so much time and money. Yeah. Okay. So let's finish off with 3 to 5 tips you can share for anyone listening that is thinking about starting up their own boot camp or group training business.
Okay, love it. Let me think of where to start. 3 to 5. Okay. All right. Okay, so number 1 is you need to be good at what you do. You need to have a good model, right? Because otherwise it's like a leaky bucket. If you've got a bucket with holes all in it, and you pour water in that bucket, it's all just going to fall out of there, and it's going to be super stressful, right? So I think that's number 1. Make sure you're really good at what you do. Your model is good. Someone signs up for your boot camp, and they're going to stay in there. All right. That's number 1 that you need to have. Number 2 is it needs to sound sexy. It can't just be, hey, it's $10, meet me at the park. Right. Use that exact, that's what a drug dealer does, right? You want to make it, maybe not $10, but you want it to be sexy. Like I mentioned earlier, hey, it's $50 a week. You get this, it's something different, right? If you got those 2 things, that's like your start point. Okay, cool. I've got something that I know people are interested in, and I know that if I get them in there, they're going to stay. All right. From there, It's work on, let's say, well, you want to then say marketing, right? You need some sort of way to get people to know about you. All right. Then from there, it's sales. Okay, great. People are knowing about you, but how can I get better at sales? And it's basically that journey there. It's like, okay, let me get good at what I do. Let me make sure I have something sexy to sell. Let me make sure I'm good at marketing. Let me make sure I'm good at sales. And then it's repeat that process there. The only other thing I'd probably add is always be learning. Always, like, it's never just like, you're never staying the same, right? You're either getting better or you're getting worse. And what I mean by that is if you think you're staying the same, there's all these people under you that are getting better that are going to jump you unless you keep getting better. So it's just, I think that's important to know that you're never just going to be the same. You got to always be improving.
Yeah, definitely. That's so helpful. And those steps are relevant for any type of business, right? You got to be good at what you do, marketing and sales and delivery. Yeah, awesome. That's really helpful. Okay, so where can everyone find you? I know you mentioned your group. If you want to run over that again, and any social media or websites you want to promote.
Yes, easy. Probably the easiest is my Facebook group. It's just type in Fitness Education Online Community and join that group in there. You're also welcome to take a look at our website, see the different services we offer. That's simply fitnesseducationonline.com.au. I'm not Mr. Creative with the names,
Hey, it's good. It's good to be remembered by one thing.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I want to thank you so much, Jono, for taking your time out. This has been really, really eye-opening for me, at least. I know a lot of people that are listening have greater insights now into how to run this type of business. As I said, I'm sure that maybe some people have given it a shot and it hasn't worked out as easily as they thought it would. So it's great to have this insight and hopefully they can apply it to their business.
Awesome. Thank you for having me, Sally.